because there's no one, no sins.
There is no one, or there is someone now.
No one.
That's right. No doubt anymore. So there's no one, but there is seeing right now, isn't it? Can seeing be anyone?
seeing就是 seeing，
Why seeing cannot be anyone?
Because it's just a conditioned Dharma.
So it's there by conditions. It arises and gone instantly, isn't it? That's why it cannot be anyone at all. There is reality which arises and falls away, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, anything. All of them are different dhammas, different realities, not anyone at all. Is it true? Seeing has arisen now and gone.
True, seeing is seeing, but still there's a sense of I there, a concept.
Is that moment real? Is the idea of I see when they're seeing, is that real, the idea?
Irene replied, the idea of I is imagined.
So there is imagination, isn't it? Is it just thinking after seeing? So is imagination real? Or is it a moment of thinking? At moment of seeing, can thinking is there? Experience which were object together with seeing?
No, they cannot happen together at the same moment.
So where are you? Seeing or thinking?
The I is imagined.
So at moment of seeing, there is the idea of I see. Is that right? Can the seeing be I, or seeing is just seeing, not thinking, not idea? So there are many different moments, seeing, hearing, thinking about I see and I hear and so on. That's why we learn to understand each different moment, which is conditioned to just arise and falls away. That's why be true to the truth little by little. Learn to be the understanding person or reality which can understand the truth of what is there, firmer and firmer. Seeing just a moment ago gone, thinking just a moment gone, each moment arises and gone instantly. That's why the idea of I is not right at all. It's wrong understanding another reality, not anyone.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we discuss on what is there right now as it is, little by little. No matter what moment, it's there by conditions, no one there at all. So, is it Irene's life, or just that which is conditioned to arise and fall by conditions only? From birth to death. From birth moment, it's taken for Irene until death moment. Where's Irene? Anymore. So seeing is seeing, hearing is hearing, thinking is thinking, liking is liking. All are different moments of that which is conditioned, arising and falling away instantly. Seeing is there now. Ignorance, no understand the truth of what seeing is, just in split second moment gone. Condition the idea, taking that which experiences object as I all the time. That's why we learn about what is there in life from moment to moment. What is real is real. It's a Dhamma, not anyone at all. So is it true? from birth to death is the way Dharma is, conditioned to arise and fall away different moment by different conditions until the end, death. Seeing arises and gone, can we say it's born and die? Because each moment has gone, never to arise again, like death. So it's not Irene at all, just arise and die. But it's by condition, no matter what follows this moment on and on, quickly. Be true to the truth from now on, little by little, each moment. No one there now, but seeing arises and sees, so seeing is a reality. No one, because it's gone instantly. But if there's no more careful considering about the truth, there is still the idea of I, because no understanding the reality of seeing or anything from moment to moment. So learn again and again to understand a little more of the truth of seeing. Otherwise, there will never be a moment of understanding seeing as not I at all. As long as there's no attention to the nature, the truth of seeing, there must be a moment of discussing about seeing on and on and on, until it conditioned moment to attain gradually to the reality which sees as it just a reality which experiences an object. Because only saying that seeing is not I is conditioned to arise and fall away is not enough to let go the idea of I see. How long ignorance and the idea of self, eons and eons ago, at any moment, seeing, hearing, smelling, on and on and on, up to now. And there's not just one moment of seeing, so many different moments has to be learned to understand the truth of Dhamma, not anyone. Each Dhamma is real, it has its own characteristic to be realized when time comes, when Panya developed to that degree. So it's time to learn more about what is there, to understand the truth of it. Because it's so real that it can be realized, but not by ignorance, but by a little more understanding of the truth, stage by stage. Just hearing about seeing, as we have heard right now, is not enough to realize the truth. That's why learn a little more about the truth of what is there right now. Any moment to have firm confidence of the truth, it cannot be taken for anything, no atta at all. Is the sense of self now?
Yes.
Is it real?
大壮 said that which thinks is real.
So, it's sense of self after seeing, isn't it? Instantly, unknowingly. That's why we learn to understand that because of ignorance, no understanding the truth of seeing as just this moment of that which is conditioned to see. The idea of self is there instantly. But it's so very, very subtle that no one can know. And that's the reality of that which is so very subtle. Asava, Diddhasava, Avijjasava, Pavasava are there. There are many degrees of akusala dhamma, or no matter what kind of dhamma, many degrees. The accumulation, the latent tendency of that which has risen after seeing and hearing, no understanding, is there accumulated eons and eons ago up to now in citta. When there's no right condition for anything to arise, that reality cannot arise, but it's there, ready to come out. ready to arise. As soon as one wakes up in the morning, it's there, ready to arise, to be the very, very subtle attachment to the idea of self. The idea of something there, atta, is there, as a seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, thinking in life. Until the enlightenment of the Buddha, enlightened to the truth of everything, what he said is just about each moment in life. What are there? While one is sleeping, what is there? While one wakes up, what is there? At moment of seeing, what's there? And so on. Otherwise, there cannot be the understanding of what is there at all as it is. What about ignorance? It arises. It cannot understand the truth of what is there. So it is avijjasava, no understanding of anything appearing at all. So this is the sense of self, unknown. As the seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, thinking, liking, disliking. So be true to the truth. Is there any understanding of seeing right now?
Ajahn, yes, there is.
Understanding or no understanding of seeing?
Yes, there is understanding.
Of what?
Of seeing.
How come? Thinking, considering, or what?
Through learning, hearing the teaching, learning the teaching.
Is there the sense of self there too?
At the moment of understanding, there is no sense of I.
But right now, seeing is there. Is there the sense of self or understanding reality which sees as not self? So no understanding of seeing, right? So there is the idea, the sense of self I see right now.
Now listening to Ajahn about the Buddha's teaching, then gradually there's some more understanding of seeing.
Only at moment of understanding, not at the moment. The other moment is still I see, because understanding is not strong enough. So what did Buddha say again and again? The 3 rounds of the Four Noble Truths. That's right. Learn to understand each moment as different realities. And the sense of self is at moment of seeing together.
No.
And what about that which is seen? Is it something?
What is seen is just color.
Can there be anyone like Taju or Vincent in it?
Now, Dazhuang's reply is Dazhuang's visible object is seen.
No, visible object is visible object, not anyone, not Taju, not Suji, not Vincent. That's why we learn a little more about what is it, where is it, how come to be seen, and so on. Without the 4 primary rupas, can there be that which is seen?
Without the 4 primary rupa, there won't be any visible object.
That's the answer, right? All by conditions. That's why everything is a Dhamma, no one there at all.
I don't still have the idea there must be someone or something there.
So who's that person? That one? And where's that one?
Okay. Ajahn, Dazhuang said that just name.
Is visible object now Taju?
No.
That's why firm confidence of the truth. That which appears to seeing is just only the reality which can appear to see, as visible object right now. Seen only one doorway, no one there at all. So the sense of self is there instantly, taking that which is seen as Vincent or someone. Is there sense of self now? Again and again.
Yes.
Is it real?
大壮 say, what does real mean?
Is it there or not at all?
大壮 still not sure.
Is it a reality? The sense of self. Is there any sense of self now?
I is just an idea, but there must be Dharma there to have this idea.
So is idea a Dhamma?
Idea is not Dharma.
So no idea. But there are so many ideas. How can it not be a reality? Can it not be real? It's so real when it's there. We just talk about the sense of self because he said the sense of self. Everyone say there is a sense of self or there's no sense of self at all. So what's about the sense of self? Is it real? Is it a reality? Is it now?
Ajahn, sense of self is idea.
It doesn't matter whether it's idea or what. Is it real? Is it a reality?
No.
So there's no sense of self. The truth is the truth. Yes, go on, please.
Ajahn, please go ahead.
We are learning about the truth, the ultimate truth, as it is. That's why it's so very delicate, very subtle, intricate. That's why it's not just the word we learn and remember and follow it anytime, just answer. But the understanding is very important, even just the sense of self and the idea of self and so on. All dhammas are so very subtle. It has to be one's own understanding, one's own considering. Otherwise, there can never be the understanding of the truth at all. Just about the idea. So what about the idea of self and the sense of self? We'll continue next time. Sawadee ka.
Sawadee ka, Ajahn.